Hey, welcome back. Time for another episode of our OC Spotlight. The one show, the only show that shows you the most amazing people doing the most incredible thing. And this one is right up there. Every time he comes in, I'm amazed. We'll see if we can wrap our heads around all the work that our next guest is doing here in Orange County. Meet, if you will, again, Howard Leonhardt from Lionheart Health. Welcome again, sir.
Glad to be here.
You have got to be, you're one of those people I talk about all the time. First of all, we're both Minnesota boys. I got my Twins cap on here today. You started off life inventing heart valves and some other things and made your reputation, money, and all that. And for the last few years, you've been here at UC Irvine's Beal Applied Innovation Center with me near my studio here, working on what? I say it's longevity, but it's more than that. What's the overall goal of Lionheart Health?
The real simple description is we have a goal to help people reverse their aging 20 years inside and out, or you could say extend their health span, their healthy life 20 years longer than would have been expected without our technology and our programs.
And in a nutshell, I know it's very scientific, but you've discovered this. You keep saying Klotho. Is it a protein? I forgot what it is. Klotho is what? Klotho is the key to all the longevity work you do, right?
It is one of 70 different proteins that we've patented in the ability to use bioelectric stimulation of your muscles and your skin to express proteins that promote health. But Klotho is on the top of the list. And it is a membrane protein that's primarily produced in a little nodule in your kidney. It's also produced in muscle. It's one of the benefits. You increase your circulating Klotho when you exercise, about 3 to 6%, something like that. With our technology, by bioelectrically stimulating your muscles with these very precise signals, frequency, pulse width, pulse duration, amplitude, and voltage, we are able to affect increase of circulating Klotho 27 to 230%. We're averaging about 40%. Every 4% increase of Klotho is deemed to possibly provide another year of health span. The negative has been proven that every 4% decline in Klotho seems to take away a year of healthy living. So we're trying to prove that every 4% gain adds another year to healthy living.
And initially, so you've created some public, you've got a lot of long-range plans for this breakthrough tech, this science that you've come and these patents that you've created here. But one of them is for the public, an easy way in are these Lionheart, what do we call them, longevity and wellness clinics. You've owned two of them. You built one in New York and then one here in Irvine. And now to get them up faster, because you want to build hundreds of these things, if I understand correctly, you've got at least 4 or 5 of them licensed in different places around the country. What happens in a Lionheart longevity and wellness clinic? What can I come in and say? I know you can get some of the stuff like in a med spa, Botox and some other things, but that doesn't really address the core mission, which is to extend life and maybe improve life in the process, too. Talk about what happens if I come into a clinic. What services do you offer?
Thanks for the opportunity to explain that. The clinic here in Orange County is actually in Newport Beach, so it's very close to Irvine, just a couple of stoplights away. 4740 Van Carmen Avenue, Suite 150, Newport Beach. For those locals, it's quite near to the Orange County John Wayne Airport, walking distance from the airport. At this clinic, what we do, we offer a number of things. We offer skin regeneration, hair regeneration, joint health restoration, sexual health restoration, rapid body toning, and weight loss. And
all of which you've targeted. These are hot topics that people are looking for, and using a variety of things. But one of them is this Klotho. You're talking about you're biostimulating. It's a suit that you wear and has little biosensors on it, and you're targeting different frequencies, different parts of the body, depending on what the need is. If I have sexual health, men my age, all that stuff we won't talk about. But things like that happen, or hair, or simple things like that. You're saying you can actually help restore, regenerate, improve? How do we describe this?
We've been working on this a long time and have lots of clinical data on about 1,000 patients treated with the bioelectric stimulation. And yes, pick whatever organ that you want, let's say knees. If you have the beginning of knee osteoarthritis, we will put electrodes around your knee and have you in twice a week for 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks, depending on what your need is. And we have patented signals that cause the release of proteins that do different things. The first set we'll do for the knee is stem cell homing. So we make a signal on your knee, deliver a set of signals to your knee, and it causes your own stem cells from your own bone marrow, your own fat, and your own circulating blood to migrate to the knee. And when they get there, they can do some good things, can regenerate cartilage, regenerate meniscus, strengthen the bone, build up the muscles, and reduce inflammation. We have the Klotho signal. That's low Klotho is deemed to be a primary underlying cause of knee osteoarthritis. When you have low
lack of this protein flowing through your blood system here has been proven to cause, is it damage? Is it, or do we describe it as damage, or just increased risk? Or
when you're low in Klotho,
I'm trying to be careful because I know those goes through FDA approvals and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Trying to understand how to explain it here.
And when you're low in Klotho, specific to knee osteoarthritis, the matrix within your knee stiffens up and dries up. And normally that matrix, when it's healthy and has sufficient Klotho, it's soft and is pliable, and it's a great producer of healthy proteins to keep your knee healthy. But when it stiffens up and dries up, basically, it can't do the good things. And by increasing the Klotho, we can turn matrix within the knee from being dried up and hard and not producing good proteins to being softer, more pliant, and producing good proteins, including producing Klotho. And we do the same thing for sexual health. We stimulate down there, we recruit stem cells, we grow blood vessels, restore muscle, and so
even hair and skin and things like this. You're, if I understand correctly, I know a lot of this hasn't been cleared yet by the FDA, but you're working with the FDA in clinical trials and studies. This isn't just some home remedy or something. This is science behind it. It's being tested and evaluated and studied in clinical trials and all that expensive stuff. And your hope, your dream, your belief is that this process works in the whole body. Almost like, you call it what, a longevity womb or something? Or
our long-term development is to develop a whole body regeneration chamber.
Whole body regeneration chamber.
Yep.
I go in this thing and you stimulate the proteins and the growth and all the other science behind this to literally not just stop aging, but to reverse it.
That is a goal. We're not quite there yet.
No,
but we're
that's
taking,
a pretty lofty goal.
Taking steps, and it would be a womb for adults, and artificial intelligence driven, robotics driven, and delivering Klotho expressing stem cells where they need to be delivered. It would be filled with amniotic fluid and Wharton's jelly and a bunch of things that we know that basically, in simple terms, are everything that you would find in a mother's womb to grow a new human being. We're going to provide in this whole body regeneration chamber. But to get more back down to earth,
I know that's still way off in the stars here, but that's the goal, folks. That's how far out they're looking. This isn't just, hey, I'm going to improve sexual health, or I'm going to grow some more hair, or help your knee a little bit. It can do that, and that's where they're starting, because those seem to be like the simplest things people are looking for and can grasp and can do. But your goals are lofty in that, because when you did in your previous companies, you created heart stents, and didn't you actually do something about heart regeneration or growing?
We have, yeah. Our first product was a cardiovascular balloon catheter, and then our second major product was a stent graft for repairing aortic aneurysms, and then a third product was placing heart valves without surgery. And we followed that with, we regenerated the first animal heart in 1988, and we regenerated the first human heart in history without surgery in 2001. And
these things were all sold off to other people or bigger giant companies or whatever here.
The short answer is yes. Yes, yeah.
Short answer.
That is. And
you develop these things, and then big med tech companies take them further. All right, so this time you're holding on to the dream yourself here. Yep. I don't think the dream is just to come up with more science and sell more protocols or processes or procedures or equipment or whatever. Your goal is to really reverse aging or slow it down or stop it or whatever you can accomplish. Right now, you're working in these health clinics, and you've got a couple of them, one in New York, one here, and then 4 or 5 others licensed with many others. Your goal is to get hundreds of these things up and running.
Our goal is to have 124 licensed sites within the next 60 months, and we're on our way towards that. We brought in Scott Hoots, who was on the show a few weeks ago, and Scott previously opened up 235 franchises for QC Kinetics, which is a regenerative medicine company.
And I don't want to diminish his background, but prior to that, he was one of the key players in building out the, what was it, Pizza Hut or Domino's Pizza or something. This guy knows how to scale things and bring in franchise and operations.
That's right.
Not just for what he started in, but health, what he's done the last few years. All right, so yes, I get it. It's real. It's happening. It's hard to believe. And you can go sample it right here. Where else can they sample it? New York, in Manhattan, and here. Obvious places. You've got some licensees.
Santa Barbara, San Diego, 3 sites in Mexico, including Tijuana, Cancun, and Cabo San Lucas. If I didn't say Phoenix. Yeah. And we're about to get up and running in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Minneapolis, and 2 sites in Utah.
Got to be in Minneapolis. Come on. That's
yeah, that's where we come from. All right, I do want to clear one thing up, is that we have partnered with Metal Electronics in Anaheim that has been in business. It's a 3rd-generation family business. They build the electrical stimulators for us, and we put our patented software into their stimulators, but the patented signals fall within the range that they already cleared to the FDA.
Got it.
So these stimulators are cleared for improving circulation, for restoring muscle function, for building more muscle more quickly, for reducing pain and inflammation, also for preventing blood clots. We don't use that part as much. But, for instance, with knees or sexual wellness, we are cleared by the FDA to say by improving circulation and by improving muscle recovery and by reducing inflammation, you may exhibit improvement of your joint health, your sexual health, your skin health, your hair health.
That's a big claim, because most people can't even say, if you go to herbs and nutraceuticals and all this stuff, they're like, we can't say anything. We're telling you people's stories of what they're seeing, but we can't make any claim. You can say this stuff may actually work, man. You
and
can't
we're working
promise
with the
anything.
FDA to add to the labeling and indications of use. For instance, with erectile dysfunction, we're not allowed to say that we have a cure for medically diagnosed erectile dysfunction.
Right.
We've worked out a clinical trial plan with the FDA that once we finish that, we possibly, if they accept the data, could make that claim. But right now we can say by improving circulation, by improving your muscle and reducing the inflammation, you may experience improvement of your sexual vitality and wellness. It's a kind of a distinctive difference between the two.
Right.
One is treating a medical diagnosed condition with a very specific claim, and the other is a more of a wellness claim.
And folks, these men, I'm in this building where they're doing this all day long, all sorts of people, a lot of it here at the UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center, funded by Don Beal, from the old chairman of Rockwell, and it's a wet lab, a research facility, and the containment, and the little electron microscopes, and the things that spin, and all this stuff. All this stuff I don't understand, but it's here. It's really the only place, I think, in Orange County where you can develop and do these things. You work in this lab. I know there's dozens of other people working on a variety of things in this lab. This is serious stuff here. You've got a serious background, and you seriously want to slow down or even reverse aging. That's the goal, to get there. Right now you're working on restoring sexual function, knees, other sorts. What was the other ones? Was it 4 or 5 that if I go to the clinics you focus on right now?
Joint health, sexual health, rapid body toning and weight loss, skin regeneration and hair regeneration.
Yeah, the kind of, as you said, the stuff people are looking for, and then the goal is to get bigger. Now, if people want to come to the clinic, you're starting something new, this Lionheart Klotho Wellness Program. Talk about that. It's not cheap, folks, but it's revolutionary what they're offering here. So talk about that for a second here. You can go in and just have treatments and do other sorts of things, but you're actually trying to come up with an ongoing wellness program that at the high end you're providing food and meals and all sorts of other stuff. Talk about that.
Thank you. This is really the heart of what we wanted to do with the clinics. The skin and hair regeneration is a way to get people in, but what our core staff really wanted to do was to change healthcare and to promote healthcare, not sick care, but actually get people engaged in their health before they become sick. And with this program, you'd come into our clinic, including the one here in Newport Beach, and working with our medical staff, Dr. Allison Berkey, Dr. Sanjay Bourgeois. We have a consultation with Dr. Jared Szymanski and others. And we do a full assessment. So we assess your gut health, your oral microbiome health.
Gut health. We have so many people come and talk about the connection to brain health and gut health. We have a guy,
absolutely.
A guy from Alzheimer's Foundation coming to talk about that. That gut-body connection is so important here.
That's true. And we assess your systemic inflammation, which is an underlying cause of a lot of problems. We look at your brain health, your joint health, your sexual health. And we design a customized program. And amongst the things that take a while to go through the whole program, but
Right.
we have healthy meals delivered to your home. We have two partners, Metabolic Meals and Tempo. Both of them have been curated by our nutritionist consultants. And basically,
These
these
are
are
high protein, low carb kind of meals.
Yep.
Designed to do what? Help reduce the bad stuff and the inflammation, which we had so many shows. All this crap we put in, what does it do? It causes inflammation in your brain, your gut, everything. Your body's trying to reject this stuff. You don't need all this sugar and all this crap that we're filling our bodies with here. And so clean some of that stuff out. That's a start. Reduce the inflammation, because that's always a bad sign. Your body's not liking it. And then maybe increase the good stuff. That's what you're talking about, proteins and other sorts of things that your body needs.
So these particular meal plans that we curate and recommend are designed to help elevate your Klotho levels. And there's certain foods, and it does many other things as well. But so this is like $8 to $12 per meal delivered to your house. And we know it's hard for people they could just shop on their own and do all this,
Sure.
but it takes a lot of time. Everybody's busy. This
Right.
makes it really easy. And if you join this program, part of it is getting these healthy meals delivered to your house. We don't make them. We just found two companies that do that. The other thing we do is in partnership with another local Orange County company. Kim Ressler is a founder, Orange County resident, and this is called SNP Nutrigenomics. And we take a saliva sample, send it to the laboratory.
Take a snip.
And they design customized supplements based on your needs. So it is vitamins, but specific to exactly what your body needs.
I'm still trying to get it. Is this a genetic breakdown of?
It is.
And based on my genetic sample, they're going to say, you've got a proclivity for this, you got an inherited thing with this, you got a problem here. We can see much deeper than just open your mouth and look down your throat here, or do a blood test or something. This is going to a gene level, a cellular level, a very deep dive into who you are, and then trying to reverse engineer and say, if that's the problem, here's maybe some things you need to do to fix it, including food.
And so those customized supplements that are designed just for you are delivered to your home, and you take them with your healthy meals. And then we attack each problem you may have on a customized basis. If you have some brain health issues, we bioelectrically stimulate your brain and try to get to healthy, get your brain health back. If you
get rid of the fog and a little more clarity and other things.
That's true. And if your sexual health is down, we stimulate down there to get it up.
Sexual health is down, and no pun intended here.
And if your joints are sore and you're not taking the stairs because you're not exercising because your joints hurt, we take care of that. We tie all of that to health span. That if your knees are sore and you're not exercising, it's going to affect your health span. If you don't have a sexual vitality, it's going to affect your health span.
Isn't that the truth?
If you're depressed and not happy, that's going to affect your health span. So we customize that. If it turns out that your brain's fine, your knees are fine, your sexual health's fine, we don't do anything other than we do give you our patented BodStim suit. It's like a wetsuit with electrodes with a very special set of programs. And what this does is we ask you in the program to exercise with it 2 or 3 times a week. The exercise period is only 20 minutes, 5 minutes of warm-up, 20 minutes of exercise, and then another 35 minutes, which you can do whatever you want. Keep wearing the suit, and it stimulates your muscles to secrete
because it's firing and it's
aging
making the
reversal
muscle
proteins.
open and close. Just what you're trying to do physically is stimulate these muscles. It's doing it electronically, and it's not a replacement necessarily, but it does supplement it. It does get more out of your as in contractions. You're opening and closing the muscles or something, and that's creating this.
20 minutes is contraction level, and the other 35 is not contraction level. It's just feels like a tingling electronic massage on your body, and there's no contractions. And you can watch TV or be on the computer or talk on the phone or cook in the kitchen.
You're not the only one. We've had other people come in and talk with bioelectric stimulation and other kinds of suits and stuff. You're among an elite group of people that are actively working on this. This isn't just a unique proposition. What's unique is that you guys are taking this whole body approach into a deep dive and health and genes and all this stuff and looking at it, and then your pioneering work with these Klotho proteins that you've created. How many patents have you got now? Stuff, you got a lot of patents.
It's somewhere around 700 patent claims.
Patents, okay.
So not 700 individual patents, but to save money, we stack like 50 claims in one patent. So about 45 patents, something like that.
All right, so all these patent stuff here, and the real takeaway, if that hasn't blown your mind already, there's a clinic that you can go to and get this kind of evaluation with real MD doctors, and then using bioelectric stimulation, if you're open to trying that, seeing if you can generate more of these proteins that nobody ever talks about, but they focus on, and they have all the research saying these proteins can improve, extend, maybe even reverse aging. That's a pretty wild claim.
You asked about Klotho, and that is one of 70 protein expressions we have, but it is one of the star protein expressions side by side with stem cell homing, which we've patented as well.
Stem cell homing. Listen to that one. That doesn't catch your eye. All right.
Klotho is fundamental from the head to the toes. It affects everything. Over 4,000 papers published on Klotho, and the clear conclusion is if you're low in circulating Klotho, you are aging more rapidly than you should, and you're going to encounter everything that normally happens in aging. It's going to happen earlier in your life, and that means loss of cognitive function, memory decline, the chance for early onset dementia,
weakness, falling,
loss of hair, wrinkles, sexual health loss, sore joints,
what old age
even
is all
cancers.
About. Yeah.
Many of these papers of the 4,000 show that Klotho is a powerful suppressor of cancer. Mm-hmm. We have to be careful with the FDA not to make
exactly
grand claims without proper proof. But
pretty startling
4,000 papers published, and it's pretty clear.
How do they spell Klotho? Everybody wants to go Google this thing and everything, and not that you could understand half of the research you're talking about. But Klotho,
Klotho. And by the way, we are going to host right here in this building, September 15th and 16th, the first inaugural Klotho conference, and we're bringing into town many of the top Klotho researchers in history, including Dr. Kuro Oh, who discovered Klotho in 1997 in Japan. He accidentally blocked Klotho expression in mice, and those mice died 80% younger than normal mice, and on the way to dying, everything went bad. They lost their hair, they lost their cognitive function, and then he thought, let's supplement these mice with Klotho, and those mice he supplemented with Klotho lived 30% longer than normal mice, with 120% longer than Klotho deficient mice, and on the way to living longer, they didn't deteriorate or suffer. They just lived longer and then died. And now all of us are trying to translate that to humans.
We've done previous episodes where we've talked about this. You didn't discover this Klotho connection, but you discovered the research that was being done on it, which some or other people hadn't focused on or looked at, and you said, let's run with this and see where we can go with it. All right, we got to go.
And we patented the bioelectric stimulations. Everyone else was injecting the Klotho protein. We get your body to produce it with these very special patented signals. And I do want to mention that we're in this X Prize.
That's what I wanted to get to. Yeah, exactly.
We understand from an announcement there's 596 entries. Wow. We're one of those 596.
All trying to compete for, what is it, $1 million or a couple of multiple millions of dollars if they can show that it significantly does what? Extends life.
It increases health span. 20 years is the criteria, and it's divided into muscle health, brain health, and immune health. And the entire prize money is $101 million. Very soon, this spring, they're going to move from 596 entries to 40 finalists. And stay tuned in case...
See if you're one of them here.
We hope so. Well, we don't know yet, but we're hoping.
And then from there, it goes down to, keeps getting whittled down. This takes another couple of years because they're trying to, you have to keep submitting your research and showing it. And here's the wild takeaway. Remember this. Another reason to go check out Lionheart Wellness and Longevity Clinics, or Longevity and Wellness. I get them backwards. Lionheart, just like it sounds, Lionheart, Longevity and Wellness Clinics. Go see the one here in Newport Beach. I keep saying Irvine, but it's Newport Beach, right? You're right on the border over there. You can be a participant in the studies?
Yes, you can join the Klotho Wellness Program and not be in the X Prize protocol, or you can join and be in the X Prize protocol. If you join the X Prize protocol, it is a clinical trial. You have to sign a patient consent. You have to be informed of risk, and you have to be compliant. So you have to eat these healthy meals, you have to take the supplement, you have to exercise at least 2 or 3 times a week with the suit on, and you have to agree to the customized therapies that we mentioned earlier. If you're not breathing well, we're going to try to fix your breathing. If your sexual health is down, we'll try to fix that. that. If your joints are sore, we'll try to fix that. All of which we think leads to improved muscle health, brain health, and immune health, the three categories.
And so you're part of the study that then will get turned in, assuming you make the cut, the first cut here. We're feeling like you will, but if you make that first cut down to 40, now there's another clinical trial that starts up, and these three categories of muscle, brain, and immune health, and you can participate in it, folks. Is there a cost to There's a cost for the program, but there isn't a cost to opt into the clinical trial, I'm assuming.
The program itself, which you don't have to be in the exercise protocol, it does add up in cost. As cheap. Low as $12,000 a year, and in the optimal program that includes going down to Mexico for Klotho gene injections and Klotho expressing stem cells, that can be as high as $150,000 in a year, which I know is
significant
quite
chunk
costly.
Of change. But within there's various programs. So I get it, it's not for everybody. This is Southern California, this is Orange County. There are affluent people who will pay any amount to extend their life. Right now, it is an expensive process. The clinics themselves, you've got regular treatments that don't cost that much. But if you want to go all in on this wellness program, it can start as, what did you say, $1,000 a month, basically, up to a significant amount of money.
And we're talking about it. We haven't pulled the trigger yet until we maybe have some more data, but we're considering to guarantee it. We guarantee to reverse your age 10 years or you don't pay anything. And we want to get 20 years, but we're ready to put the guarantee on 10 years. And that would be by selected, recognized biomarkers for aging, including your Klotho levels. I want to share that one of my high school friends, I didn't know him in high school, but people I went to high school with knew him, and he and his wife bought our BODSTIM suit 7 months ago. They've been using it 2 or 3 times a week. They're both in their 60s, and he just got his new Klotho test, came in at 1,440 pgml.
Whatever that is.
And she came in at just under 1,000 pgml. That is the normal Klotho level for somebody that's in their 20s. They're in their 60s. And they're telling me that they feel better, that at 63 they have a great sex life. His cognitive function
I don't want to hear about
up.
it. I'm from the Midwest. I don't want to hear about people's sex life.
And it's really neat to see testimonials like that people are feeling younger, feeling more energy. So the only side effect is that he used to fall asleep watching TV, and now
can't do it.
Now he doesn't want to go to bed at midnight. His wife says it's time to go to bed because he thinks he has so much more energy, and we love to hear stories.
Well, certainly anecdotal stories, and we'll share those as this podcast continues and rambles on periodically here. But I'm more interested in the science and the research and the studies and the patents and the clinical trials and all the stuff, and up to this prize. I hope you'll come back in May or June or whenever the next round is announced. It's coming soon, and we'll hear if you made the cut, and if so, what the next stage is in competing for this X Prize.
That would be a big day for us. So in this spring, they're going to move from 596 entries to 40. Those 40 win a $250,000 prize, which is presumed to go towards more research. And then it's a race from 40 to 10, about 18 months in that part, and 1 year of treatment for the patients that are enrolled, and a little bit of time to gather the data and crunch it and analyze it. And then the final 10 win $1 million each. And then it goes another 18 months to the final 2. And the final 2 will win $81 million and $10 million. And Chip Wilson, the founder of Lululemon, is public and having put up $37 million of this. And Evolution, headed by the former CEO of Pepsi, aligned with some money sources that he's lined up, have put up a large amount, and the total
real
prize
people,
money,
real money.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, big deal. All right, you're in it. We'll see if you make the cut. I'm hoping you'll make the first cut. I'm sure then. But then we'll see how far you go. And ride along. Check it out. Listen to the podcast. Go check them out. Give us a website or something. Go find more about all this.
To join the Lionheart Klotho Wellness Program, please go to lionheartlongevitiy.com and click on the location. If you're here in Orange County, the Newport Beach location. The first step is a consultation with our medical doctors. They will talk to you about it. If you decide to go forward, it's going to be a blood test. It's going to be an oral microbiome test, a gut test,
a lot of stuff,
a full body MRI scan, basically an entire diagnostic regime that's going to determine where you're at. And then we want to do all these things, including having you exercise with the BODSTIM suit. And then we want to look at it later to see if you've improved in your muscle health, you've improved in your brain health, and you've improved in your immune health. And
if you're looking for a guinea pig, I'm sitting right over here. We could do a little swap here. We'll keep talking, and we'll come back, and we'd be happy to do it. But anyway, lots of people out there doing this. Check it out. We're talking about lionheartlongevity.com, a great source to do it. That's one of the companies under the Lionheart Health family that you're research and products that you're developing here.
Paul, one thing we didn't mention that I would like to mention because it's a big topic of the times. So it has become a craze in the United States, and including here in Orange County, for these GLP-1 drugs, semaglutide. I can't pronounce that very well, but the easier thing to pronounce is GLP-1 drugs. And you've probably heard of them. Ozempic is one of them, and there's a bunch of other ones. And what's happening is that people have started ordering these and using these without supervision, coaching, or not being part of a full protocol. So our medical team has designed a plan that if you want to do this, and we don't supply the GLP-1 drugs, you can get them from all kinds of sources. Right. GetRoman.com will ship them to your house. But our doctors really believe that you're much better served under physician supervision.
Absolutely.
And using technologies.
Finally, somebody says if we're all selling this stuff and the public's just buying it online like Roman.com, I'm not trying to pick on Roman, but all these things, and you can just go buy this stuff and it's shipped to you. They ask you 5 questions or whatever they do, and nobody monitors this. And
not just monitoring, but it has to be supplemented with the right diet that matches with that. So you need more protein when you're on that than normal. You need the right supplements. You need to exercise a little bit more than you normally would. Otherwise, you're going to be really flabby. A big problem with GLP-1 is it dissolves the fat, but it also shrinks your muscle. And so you don't want to lose muscle. That's bad for you. No. And what we do is we have a bunch of technologies. You have an electromagnetic device that we rub on your belly and rub on your different muscles that is like doing 1,000 sit-ups in a minute. And then we have the BodStim suit, and then we have the customized diet, the customized supplements that are particularly curated by nutritionists to reduce your risk of side effects from these GLP-1s. So the short answer is come in and join our program. If you really want to lose weight, do it the right way under physician supervision and with a plan to avoid the side effects, particularly avoid massive muscle loss and the Ozempic face, the Ozempic butt droop. Nobody wants that. No. And we've got a program to have you lose that weight, but do it in a more healthy manner.
Cutting-edge stuff right here, right now, but under a comprehensive plan in a real clinic with real doctors. These people have worked for years in science-based studies, and this isn't just a bunch of people that last week were selling snake oil somewhere here. This is real deal, and really being developed here at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center and others, and rolled out to the whole country through these Lionheart Longevity and Wellness Clinics. Thank you so much, Howard Leonhardt. That's the way you really spell it. Leonhardt, what is that, old German it must be or something. Leonhardt. But Lionheart is the name of the Longevity and Wellness Clinics. And go there, learn more. Lots of mind-blowing stuff. I'm not even sure I can wrap my head around it. I'm going to have to re-listen to this thing a couple times just to see if I get it all. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to having you come back next time, see if you made the cut in the X Prize.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you then.
See you, Dave.
There you have it. One more reason to tune in each and every time. Amazing stuff, incredible people, cutting-edge research being done right here in your own backyard. And you can participate and sample some of it by tuning in here to Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation.